Imagine it's 6 o'clock in the evening. You walk into your kitchen, and before you even reach for the cabinet handle, you hear it a soft, melodic chirp, or perhaps a persistent rhythmic purr vibrating against your ankles. Your cat is looking up at you, their eyes wide and expectant, focusing on the specific sound of a tin lid being peeled back or the crinkle of a soft pouch. For you, this is a mundane chore, just another box checked in your daily routine. But for the small creature at your feet, this moment is the culmination of their day. You watch as they eat with a quiet, intense focus, their entire body relaxing as they consume the moisture-rich meal. We often think of wet food as a luxury, a treat, or perhaps just a more expensive version of the dry kibble sitting in the pantry. But as you watch them finish and begin to meticulously groom their whiskers, have you ever wondered if something deeper is happening beneath the surface? There is a hidden transformation unfolding within the very cells of your cat when you make the choice to feed them wet food every single day. It is a biological and psychological shift that traces back millions of years to the burning sands of the African savanna. You might believe you are simply filling a bowl, but you are actually engaging in a profound act of restorative biology. Most owners view nutrition as a matter of calories and vitamins, but there is a secret dialogue between the moisture in that bowl and the ancient instincts of your feline companion. The real reason their energy shifts, their coat transforms, and their behavior softens isn't just about taste. It is about a fundamental return to their true nature. Something vital changes when a cat stops struggling against the dry world we've built for them, and the truth behind this daily ritual will reveal a side of your cat you never knew existed. It begins with the mystery of the desert ancestry, a biological legacy that defines every moment of your cat's life. To understand what happens when you introduce daily wet food, you have to realize that cats are essentially desert dwellers living in a modern world. Their ancestors evolved to thrive in environments where standing water was a rarity. Because of this, cats developed a low thirst drive, designed to extract almost every drop of hydration they needed from the prey they caught. What many people don't realize is that when we feed them dry kibble, we are forcing their bodies to operate in a state of perpetual, low-level emergency. Their kidneys, those delicate and hardworking filters, are constantly straining to find moisture that isn't there. When you switch to a daily wet food routine, you are effectively ending a lifelong drought. You are allowing their internal organs to finally exhale. The miracle you see in their improved health is actually just the sound of their body finally working the way it was always meant to. But that is only part of the story, because the transformation isn't just internal, it manifests in a sudden, luminous change in their physical presence. You might notice, after a few weeks of this daily ritual, that your cat's fur feels different. It becomes softer, more resilient, and takes on a shimmering depth that wasn't there before. This isn't just about vanity, it is a sign of deep cellular hydration. When a cat is hydrated from the inside out, their skin becomes more elastic and their coat loses that dull, static, heavy texture. Here's the surprising part. A cat's coat is often the first place their body borrows moisture from when they are dehydrated. By providing that moisture through their food every day, you are telling their body it no longer needs to ration its resources. You are giving them back their luster, a physical testament to the fact that they are finally truly nourished. What many people don't realize is that the behavioral softening you see in your cat is directly tied to the metabolic piece that wet food provides. Dry food is often high in carbohydrates, leading to a cycle of energy spikes and sugar crashes that can make a cat feel irritable, anxious, or hyperactive at strange hours. Wet food, being protein heavy and low in fillers, provides a steady, slow-burning fire of energy. You might find that the cat who used to pace restlessly or wake you up in the middle of the night suddenly becomes more settled and present. They aren't just lazy, they are metabolically satisfied. Their brain is no longer receiving the frantic signals of a body trying to process an unnatural diet. There is a psychological calm that comes with eating food that aligns with their predatory blueprint, a sense of security that allows them to truly rest in your presence. And sometimes the change goes even deeper into the secret world of their scent and sensory experience. Cats experience the world primarily through smell, and to a cat, dry kibble is a sensory desert. It is uniform, stagnant, and lacks the complex olfactory signals of fresh meat. When you open a can of wet food every day, you are flooding their environment with a scent story that triggers their deepest predatory satisfaction. This isn't just about making them happy to eat, it's about engaging their brain. The intense aroma of wet food stimulates the release of dopamine, the same chemical associated with the thrill of the hunt. By feeding them this way, you are providing a form of daily enrichment that feeds their mind as much as their body. You are acknowledging their identity as a hunter, even if the hunt only takes place between the kitchen floor and the sofa. But the real reason this daily choice is so impactful might be found in the silent protection it offers against the most common feline heartbreak. Vets see it every day. Cats struggling with urinary and kidney issues that seem to appear out of nowhere. But the real reason isn't a mystery, it's a cumulative effect of decades spent in a dehydrated state. By feeding wet food daily, you are effectively flushing their system every single time they eat. You are providing a natural defense against the crystals and stones that can cause so much silent pain. This is the ultimate act of love, a preventative shield that ensures your time together isn't cut short by a preventable crisis. You are giving them the gift of a longer prime, ensuring that those senior years are filled with comfort rather than struggle. What many owners fail to notice is that wet food actually changes the social temperature of the home. Because wet food is a high-value resource, the act of you preparing it and serving it becomes a powerful bonding ritual. During those moments when you are mashing the food or adding a bit of warm water to create a gravy, your cat is watching you with a level of focused gratitude that they rarely show for a bowl of dry biscuits. You have become the provider of the fresh kill. This reinforces your role as the leader of the pride and the source of all things good. It builds a bridge of trust that extends beyond mealtime. You might find that a cat who was once a bit distant starts to follow you more or sits a little closer on the couch. They are associating your presence with the most vital, satisfying sensory experience of their day. And sometimes it's about the hydration of the spirit. There is something inherently comforting about watching a cat eat wet food. The sound of them lapping up the moisture, the way they take their time rather than mindlessly crunching, it's a slower, more intentional process. In a world that is always rushing, this daily ritual asks both of you to slow down. It is a moment of pure, shared existence. You start to realize that by choosing the better food, you are making a statement about the value of their life. You are saying that they aren't just a pet to be maintained, but a guest to be honored. This shift in your own psychology is just as important as the shift in theirs. You feel a sense of peace knowing you are doing right by the ancient creature living in your home. Gradually, as the months turn into years of this daily practice, the strange improvements become the new normal. You forget that they ever had a dull coat or that they used to beg for water at the faucet. You realize that you have effectively rewritten their future. The shift from a kibble-only mindset to a moisture-rich life is a quiet but powerful transformation. You start to see their health not as a roll of the dice, but as something you have a hand in shaping every single morning and evening. You have moved beyond the surface-level convenience of the pet store and entered into a deep, biological partnership with your cat. This realization brings a profound emotional buildup to the way you look at that simple tin of food. You realize that it is more than just meat and water. It is a promise. It's a promise of more mornings together, us more quiet purrs, and more years of that soft, shimmering fur beneath your fingers. You have taken the one thing you have absolute control over, their diet, and used it to build a fortress around their well-being. It is a humbling and moving realization that such a small daily choice can have such a monumental impact on a soul that cannot speak for itself. You are the guardian of their internal world, and you are doing a magnificent job. Reflecting on everything we've discussed, it becomes clear that the bowl of wet food is a bridge across time. It is a way of honoring the desert cat that still lives inside your domestic companion. We spend so much time trying to make cats fit into our world, our schedules, our houses, our furniture, but mealtime is the one moment where we can fit into theirs. We can provide the moisture, the protein, and the sensory richness that their DNA is crying out for. Reframe this daily chore in your mind. It isn't a mess to clean up or a smell to endure. It is a life-giving ritual that preserves the essence of the creature you love. The ending is a quiet realization you are the architect of their vitality. Every time you peel back that lid, you are pouring life into their system. You are quenching a thirst they didn't even know they had, and satisfying a hunger that goes deeper than their stomach. As you look at them now, finished with their meal and settling into a deep, satisfied groom, you can feel the rightness of it. The house is quiet, the cat is content, and the bond between you is stronger for this simple act of understanding. As you go about your evening, perhaps you'll look at that bowl with a new sense of reverence. You aren't just a person feeding a pet. You are a protector, a provider, and a keeper of ancient health. You have chosen the path of vitality, and your cat will thank you with every soft headbutt and every vibrant year they spend by your side. It is a calm, powerful realization that the best way to say I love you to a cat isn't through words, but through the water and the meat that sustains their very soul. You have unlocked the secret to their longevity, and it was sitting in your hand all along. Night after night, meal after meal, you are making the world a better place for one small, extraordinary life. And in the silence of the kitchen, that is more than enough.